Ladies and gents, XRP is on the brink of surprise anyone. We have some crazy updates with the Ripple Say lawsuit, Gary Gensler issuing an assertion, and lots more to cow in modern day video. We have quite a few interesting economic trends which can be additionally popping out, which maximum clearly are going to be affecting the crypto markets, all of which virtually want to be mentioned. I need to begin by analyzing you guys this, which is the housing affordability. Now, you might be thinking, what does any of this need to do with XRP or cryptocurrency? And the solution to this is clearly quite simple. You see, the quantity of liquidity that is to be had inside the markets, meaning how plenty cash human beings have to spend, is truly vital to peer wherein cryptocurrency goes to move. In durations of time in which humans have quite a few cash to invest, it's when cryptocurrency does its absolute excellent. And, well, one of the things are converting right now on the subject of housing affordability, and it is genuinely at a certainly extraordinary factor proper now, which suggests that there, without a doubt, is probably a correction. This is going to be happening right here within the short term, followed through a huge run after that. So permit to talk about this because this is clearly vital. We can see the median monthly mortgage payment to gross earnings ratio is now 30%, near the very best it ever has been given, that 1985. Now, at some stage in 1985, there have been honestly insane loan payments because the interest prices have been astronomically excessive. They had been quite actually over 10% in the course of that time frame because the government had such big deficits. Now, certainly, while your mortgage bills are a lot better than the median income, there's a number of human beings that are defaulting on their loans because they're not able to pay their mortgage. And if they may be not able to pay their loan and they may be unable to have enough money to live properly, they most honestly are not going to be shopping for cryptocurrency. And if we have a look at this chart, it shows that today we are at a totally comparable point in time. You can see that we are clearly spiking up. Now, this became 1985 round right here when loan payments were so insanely excessive it failed to make any feel in any respect. But here you can see that things aren't searching too quite both. Whenever we are above this 50% variety properly, the markets begin searching a touch bit extra bearish. You can see around right here in 2007 and 2008. We had that big financial crisis of direction with all of the banks and those mortgages. There was a totally substantial disintegrate in the course of this era as nicely, but we're definitely above that right now, which suggests that the common American is genuinely suffering quite a chunk in this. This is a regarding signal for the #1 financial system within the international. However, there may be one desirable thing right here. We are able to see that the quantity of cash human beings are making has long gone up a decent quantity considering that then is properly. So yeah, typical, it's far. But there's a few mild at the cease of the tunnel, which we are going to get into. Now, one component we will see is that in spite of this, Bitcoin remains certainly one of the biggest monetary property in the world in cryptocurrency and XRP, due to which might be additionally truly excessive up on that list. You can see Bitcoin proper right here is ranked quantity 6 at 1.19 trillion. That's glaringly pretty considerable, with America being at a USD fee of 5.8 trillion and gold being at 14.8 trillion. A lot of human beings are predicting that at some point Bitcoin might be the biggest in the world, and you realize I'm anticipating that point to come back. With that being said, though, we do have in replace with the SEC lawsuit K, and this one is virtually big due to the fact the SEC has ultimately admitted in criminal documentation that XRP is indeed not a security. However, they are still going to enchantment the fee Ripple is set to pay. The STC eventually admitting this is a certainly big deal, okay, because for the longest time they had been struggling with Ripple on absolutely the whole lot. They said XRP is a security. You want to pay extra money for this first rate. You want to pay this $1 billion right here. And manifestly 1,000 million greenbacks is no small sum of coins. That is extra money than pretty lots everyone, folks here looking this video, is ever going to look in our complete lifetime. And so, yeah, it really is quite insane. Now, with that being said, though, that's a big win, and that can't cross understated. You recognize ultimately the SEC is, I bet, respecting the word of the regulation rather than continuously abusing it. I suggest who knows what is going to happen down the street here, however, although this is surely critical for our win here. If the SEC continues admitting defeat on those factors, they might seem small, however, they're actually massive. Because if the XRP is certainly not a protection, the SEC does not truly have any form of rules or, you understand, motive to move after XRP, because they may be the Securities and Exchange Commission. They're not the Digital Assets and Exchange Commission. They're no longer the Commodities and Exchange Commission proper, they're the Securities and Exchange Commission. And so if XRP is not a safety, nicely, it type of ruins their whole argument. And this genuinely opens up the doors for something else, which I need to tell you men about. That is even higher. The counter lawsuit that Ripple has issued towards the SEC to us searching for treatments for the damages might be large. This is going to be potentially masses of hundreds of thousands of dollars back to Ripple, which can then be used to scale operations. And so if we've that on the identical time as a path having regulatory readability, new partnerships, I do assume that that is going to be quite tremendous for XRP as an entire. Now, do I assume we're going to have all of this, you recognize, lamentably unfold by means of the end of this year? Probably no longer with how matters are presently going. The CC continues to be battling. But nevertheless, 2025 is still set to be the bull run proper. That's the bull run height in 2025. And so I assume the SEC is going to have this all discovered, and the Ripple is going to have this all discovered by that point. And meaning of direction that we are going to be seeing some very giant price action in 2025 nonetheless. But that doesn't mean yet again that we do not have a few short time period ache. It is probably going to be coming right here. Right, I need to remind you men of the 2021 bull run, where we had the likes of Bitcoin lose around 50% of its value in a brief time frame. That's still a possibility with XRP, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. I'm going to speak about that a touch bit greater in a 2D. However, I simply need to factor out that XRP does have some massive partnerships proper now. A TB that is the 9th largest economic institution in Canada with over $43 billion in property is leveraging Ripple's era to allow real-time move border settlements proper. And there is some other banks which are doing this as well. CIBC became additionally using this in Canada, and RBC for a short time period changed into additionally the use of XRP's technology. Now, today, I'm now not certain if RBC still is, not sure if CIBC is. However, though, a TB Financial, without a doubt, big call in Canada, is using these services. So we've got to retain that, specialize in that. That's wherein all of our attempt and focus genuinely have to be, is on the partnerships, organizing those, constructing the ones out. That's what's going to help us go to the one's new degrees. Okay, so with that being stated, I recognize a number of you guys are a little bit disenchanted with XRP's lack of price action. You realize mainly after the SEC announced their lawsuit and we noticed this huge degree sell-off, and then for the reason that then we haven't virtually been capable to interrupt above where we are at like 56 cents or so. We preserve simply kind of trailing around where we're proper now at 54 cents. Now, of course, in case you men have been following me on my channel, when XRP fell down right here, it went all the way down to 51 cents. I unfolded a protracted position. I mentioned that on my channel. I additionally unfolded another long roll around 54 cents. I currently closed off both of these lengthy positions due to one honestly critical indicator, which is of direction, the stochastic RSI. If you examine it nowadays, you can see that XRP is indeed in a position of being oversold or overbought instead. And that is normally a bearish sign. So proper now, if you're doing futures buying and selling, I do no longer think it's a terrific idea to move lengthy on XRP. Now, dollar fee averaging is a very one-of-a-kind story. I do assume that buying XRP consistently at 54 cents right now is a phenomenal concept. So my recurring buys on XRP day by day are still going through every single day, $100 offered of XRP. But out of doors of that, outdoor of recurring buys, in case you're searching out swing trades or in case you're seeking out week-long, 2-week lengthy holds, I do suppose that a quick function on an asset like Bitcoin is sincerely a sincerely good concept right now, due to the fact you could see that Bitcoin clearly just had a